Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror Freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Horror Live. We're live tonight. We're going to be live twice, so we'll get more on that in a minute. But I am Flesh Wound Dan. That is producer Todd.
Good evening.
Bugs Dread.
Namaste.
And Mike Kruger.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
So, yes, guys, we're going to do our They, Them, and Prey review, but join us shortly after this for another Monsters watch along. So if you've been enjoying those, come hang out with us. That'll be live too. So 2 live back-to-back shows.
2 live crew.
2 live crew, indeed. So yes,
dibs on Brother Marquise. I don't know. Dad's definitely a fresh kid ice. I'll just say.
Yes. Shout out to Sean and Big T in the chat already.
Howdy.
So going into it, obviously, I'm very curious. We haven't talked about these movies yet. So that makes sense for tonight, and that is funny, Bugs.
I thought he was going to know something.
I will sell that one because that was funny.
I was trying not to.
But yes. So I'm really curious. We haven't talked about these movies together yet at all, so I don't know where everybody falls. But yeah.
Ben Grimm, parental warning on this stream.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
They have been talked to then. But yes, this is going to be interesting. All
you look a little worried, Dan. Why is that?
little bit worried.
He doesn't want to go camping.
All right.
Not falling for that again.
We'll do they/them first.
I think you can just say they, them, Dan.
No, actually,
I've been corrected.
Has been saying they / which disappointed me because I thought that it was going to be called just they, them, and that's actually way cooler than they / them. It's a little on the nose.
Yeah.
On the chin.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll no sell that. All right. So they, them.
I'll take Kevin Bacon's word. So Dan, not Dan's, but
Bacon is the he's the final word. So, all right, they/them from director John Logan. And in this film, a group of teenagers at an LGBTQ plus conversion camp endure unsettling psychological techniques while being stalked by a mysterious masked killer. All right, I'll go first. I truly believe that this movie is going to bring everybody together because I can't imagine anybody liking it. I'm sure
my finger's on the mute button. I'm just saying it now.
A whole group of people that might think this is okay.
I 100%, guys. Like, if you disagree with me, please put it in the comments. But if you're not listening to this live, I thought this movie was a piece of shit. I can't. As a slasher film, I think it fails completely across the board. The number one, another thing that it does that I think is really dumb is it kind of lightens up. I mean, conversion camps are horrific. They're horrible. They shouldn't be allowed. Horrible thing.
But I agree with that.
I was laughing at a comment. I should say that, not to smoke.
They lighten it up so much. They pull a Becky, like with Kevin James, where you have this vicious neo-Nazi villain, but it's like, well, we can't make him too evil. I think this is actually
Ben Grimm says didn't hate it, not good.
Oh, I fucking hated it.
Daily Ghost, good cast, bad script, and terrible direction.
Yeah, I think that this is offensive, really, to gay people. I mean, they don't even really. Kevin Bacon, 100%.
Let him go. Let's see
why not?
This goes.
I mean,
why not?
He does have a point because I have seen some stuff online where people are pretty offended by this movie. So I do get where he's coming from.
It's a fucking joke of a movie. I can't believe that this director, this is the screenwriter of Gladiator, The Aviator, really great film, Last Samurai, Hugo, the last 2 probably good James Bond movies that we'll get. I can't believe he fucking made this piece of shit.
I would strongly argue the last two James Bond movies because he made those Daniel Craig pieces of shit. And they all are.
Skyfall,
Not just the
I
last
thought
one.
pretty good,
Nope,
but
garbage.
Oh, that's fine.
Trash.
But a lot of this also logically, and we'll talk spoilers on this. So much doesn't make sense with let's just say the opening scene versus the reveal of the killer. I'll complain a little bit more about that in the spoilers. That didn't make any fucking sense at all.
The one thing, real quick, I was going to throw out there: a good director or a good writer doesn't make a good director. So that's
true. That's true. I just, man, I don't know.
You expected more with that lineup.
The random song and dance number.
Oh my god, that was so fucking bad.
You guys don't like Pink? That was awesome.
No,
I'm not even kidding. I love Pink.
Well, hey, good for you. I thought it was fucking stupid. Like, I mean,
they're at a gay camp, and you don't expect it to break into song.
Yeah, not in a slasher movie.
It's almost as bad as Scream 2. Let's just put it that way. Like with the
Scream
song
2 bothered me more because at least here, because of the reasons Pugs mentioned, I can allow it. But
yeah, Scream 2, it's definitely out of the left field. I hate that fucking scene as well.
I don't mind it there either.
And if it would have been like, we'll not do a Scream 2 dissection. I know Pugs loves
it. Yeah, I would watch Scream 2 10 times in a row before watching this again. Honestly, it just
for sure.
There's no
like any of them.
There's no suspense. The kills there's nothing to speak of on the kills. It's just all just so fucking goofy. I felt bad for Kevin Bacon. I'm not gonna lie.
Why? He got paid.
I legitimately just wanted to like pat him on the back and just remind him of the good work he's done in the past.
Thanks for you giving us The Woodsman.
Yeah.
This made The Following look fantastic, and that had all sorts of issues. This is just, I don't understand it. Like, I want to be enlightened. If you like this at all, please tell me what you liked specifically about it. I will say this. I can't even really compliment it. I don't necessarily think the actors were bad or anything. This is just a case of not having a whole lot to work with. It's nice seeing Anne Schlumsky, I think is how you say her last name. My girl. Something like that.
And from Veep, Amy.
Thank you.
Veep. I have not watched Veep.
Dude, you're fucking up.
Dan's like, I got to mention a 30-year-old movie that maybe some of you remember.
That's
Hannibal as well.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You are right. I do know her from Hannibal.
Dad goes with
the show.
There's nothing to please slasher fans. The villains are all watered down. That just from beginning to end, the dance number. God damn, that was fucking dumb. And I'm gonna complain a lot more because I don't want to give everything away because you may still want to watch it, but there was so much. Oh my god, so much to pick apart.
It goes forever.
It's been on my list forever, and I know it looks hilarious, but
it's the best.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that you'll get a lot of curiosity watches on this movie. There's nothing controversial. It's just a fucking garbage film that will be forgotten in a week, probably once the hype dies down. But did one of you like it? Since
I definitely liked it more than you. I don't think it's a fucking piece of shit.
I'm not going to speak for other communities in my review.
That I am not a part of.
Who would you recommend this to?
Anybody, really. Like, just to check it out. It's not as bad as you say, dude. Kevin Bacon is a standout, but pretty much he does that everywhere. The scene where they go to the Target practice stuff, that was hard as fuck. Although you can telegraph that shit from a mile away. No, I don't think it's as bad as you said. I don't think it's fucking the second coming of Christ or by any means. I think it could have been a whole lot better. It's just okay. It's barely okay. Maybe just under okay. I like the mask. The staples were kind of cool, but it should have been something a little more, I don't know, representing of like gay trauma or something something a little better. But I liked all the fucking characters, dude. Like all of them were kind of fun to be around. The Daily Ghost. I do wonder in say 20 years, could this movie have some sort of funny cult appeal?
Not when like Well, I mean, maybe, but like you have what's that one? Knife and Heart, I believe.
I don't remember.
That came out a few years ago. That's like a pretty popular gay slasher, and I think that's going to be more memorable than something like this.
I think the message of gay conversion camp, whatever, should be driven a little should be a little more upfront than how we get it. Like just in those little, not to spoil anything, but it's like photos.
They didn't think modern audiences could handle the photos that were just sitting around in the door.
We needed boy erase, but throw a slasher in there.
That's what I wanted.
There you go.
That's what I
And
wanted too.
on that point though, Pugs and Kruger, you mentioned a gay horror film. Hellbent is a gay slasher film that I think is decent. It's not, I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's a decent film. I remember reviewing it with Melissa back in the day. Mm-hmm. There you go. And that's a decent slasher. This, not suspenseful, not into.
I do
a lot
think
of side characters they do nothing with, really.
That's the thing. I think the biggest flaw is they don't focus and just stay with one or two. It's kind of an ensemble piece, but like clearly there's one person in particular that should be the main fucking character. I forgot their name, but
Jordan.
Yes. Ben Grimm, Bloody Bible Camp. Is that a movie?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. The Real Fifth Beatle. Too much character development of characters I didn't give a fuck about. Gen Z obnoxious pricks. That's the nail on the head. When it does come time for them to be obnoxious, and the reason why I get tired of some of these fucking people is because they just keep running their goddamn mouth like, dude, I accept you for you. BFD. Kevin Bacon handled that first interaction perfectly. So I was like, oh, cool. This is how we're going to go. And then it just kind of dies in the middle and it barely picks up at the end. So I don't think it's a big piece of shit, but it's not like super entertaining or enthralling like I was hoping. So,
yeah.
Kevin Bacon rules, though.
I'm not Gen Z, so they are going to annoy me too. But I think that's who this is going to appeal to. The people who just watch what's on Peacock. I mean, it's good. I think you're going to have way more people see this than what was the other one you mentioned, Kruger? Just because
Knife and Heart.
Just because it's on Peacock.
Like
and everyone's
and Kevin Bacon.
And Kevin Bacon. So everyone's going to watch that one. I think, and honestly, as much as this is going to kill Dan for me to say it, I think there's potential for that third remake of Black Christmas to have cult appeal later for how bad it is.
I think you can make fun of that one, and yes, the same here. I sure. Well,
Dan, let's
for a riff review, sure. But I don't know, man. I just, this movie's so unfocused. I don't think it succeeds in anything it's trying to do.
What about you, Mr. Kruger?
And I don't think it's going to have any following, but we'll see.
So I'll start with the few things that I did like, because there isn't much. Pugs, you already brought up. The mask looked cool, and that's kind of what got me excited about this movie. And just concept of a slasher and a gay conversion camp. I mean, it sounded interesting enough that it could be fun as long as there was good kills and maybe a good deep message inside it. But yeah, this doesn't really succeed in any of that. The kills there are a lot of off-screen stuff, and the aftermath gore just looks fucking terrible. You kind of are wondering. It is kind of a whodunit type slasher too, and when you do get that reveal, it's very, very lackluster. But Kevin Bacon, he did his best, and he did have a few strong moments. You brought up the whole gun scene that was pretty strong, and I thought like a couple of moments where he would go from like seeming like he's a decently reasonable guy to just a fucking complete lunatic was pretty good. But everything else, not anything I would watch again or recommend. There's 1,000 other slashers out there that you could do better. And like I said, Knife and Heart's actually a pretty decent gay slasher that I've seen that I would watch 1,000 times over this. So if you were looking for something around that, in that type of genre, in the slasher genre, go check that one out.
The Real Fifth Beatle, they them takes itself too fucking seriously, as I knew it would, because any ridicule results in death threats on Twitter.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Todd, what about you?
I kind of already said, yeah, it was all right. I wasn't like the drizzling shits. as Dan is saying.
Oh, I double down on it.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest right here. I started singing along with the crowd. It's pink, dude. And they used the uncensored version, which made me happy.
Yeah, I didn't find that part unbelievable. So,
well, no, definitely not. But
yeah. Will I ever like feel the need to watch it again? No. It's like I'm trying to think what I compare it to. A bad episode of Scream TV.
if it did have decent kills in it, though, I would say maybe there is some sort of rewatch value, but not having any good gore or anything, like you guys could brought up earlier, like you could have used things that they do in gay conversion camps as kills. I mean, maybe they did. They did do it with the one shock thing, but could have been more creative.
Well, the fucking movie in my head would not be allowed on TV. You don't need this thing anymore.
Knife and Heart's pretty nasty.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I don't know that movie.
Yeah.
It's on Shudder.
I think Shudder, but also if you want to, I think it's one of the Vinegar Syndrome sub labels. If I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have a lot more to say in spoilers about this one. More mean things to say.
Dan's not allowed to speak in spoilers. I'm just going to say that now. Because I'm going to tell you right now, in 5 years, Dan's going to be asking me to pull this episode.
I've been nice. I've been very nice. I just think it's a dumb fucking movie.
Okay. Remember back in 2019, you were like, Dan, you might want to take that down a minute? Take it down a bit?
You love everything, Todd.
No. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Let him get canceled. I completely understand.
It's just a bad movie. Hellbent. Watch Hellbent. Watch Knife and Heart. Don't fall into the hype trap.
Thank you, Cliff. Since Dan did not take the one request I had in the beginning of this top of the show, Pugs, would you read that?
Cliff Booth. Rest in peace, Clue Gallagher. I saw him every single time I went to New Beverly Cinema. Seemed like he really missed a show. A true movie buff. Rarely missed a show. A true movie buff, if there ever was one. Yeah, I've seen plenty of movies with that man. Rest in peace, Clue. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah. Even those Feast sequels, man, he was still giving it his all.
You can tell it's a genuine.
I wonder what Todd hates. Todd hates that fucking stupid. I know what you did last summer. Amazon series. He hates that stupid fucking Resident Evil show.
You watched all of it, didn't you, though?
Yes, because I was like, maybe it'll get. No, I'm watching this whole fucking show just so I could shit on it officially, and no one could say, "Well, did you watch it?" Yeah, motherfucker, I watched all 8 of those pieces of shit. So if you come at me with like, I watched one episode, I'm going to tell you your opinion doesn't count unless you watch it all. And Todd hates the Last House remake.
Still. I haven't
rewatched it. I'm waiting until we do our Last House.
Oh, you lightened up on a Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
I lightened up on that.
There was some Wes Craven masterpiece.
There was something I hated too recently besides those two. But I think Dan hating something so much makes me go the other way.
No fun.
I may have started out at 1 and Dan just talked me up to a 3.
Oh my God. If you give this, hey Todd, you give it a 3. Give it a 3. Go for it. Fucking go for it. I hope it gets a physical media release, and they put Todd, producer Todd, right underneath.
That'd be fucking awesome.
I wasn't even listening.
He wants you to be on the cover of to give a quote for the physical media release of They/Them.
That's knowing what would really fucking suck it, just
like Dan's Hood Classic one.
But we're not done, guys, on this. It just, again, I don't want to be an asshole.
Dan's not allowed to talk anymore about it.
Yeah, why don't we rate this fucking piece of shit and move on to the next movie? Dan,
shall I rate it first since I'm probably the highest one here?
Yeah, let's go positive first.
I'm a 2 out of 5 for They/Them.
I am also a 2 out of 5 for They/Them. Or am I 2/5? Is that how we're doing it?
Yeah.
I was tossed up between the 1.5 and the 1. For Kevin Bacon, 1.5 out of 5.
Let me guess. Dan, are you a 0 or are you a 0.5?
Do you want me to be mean?
No, I want you to.
No, be honest.
You're going to be the one to ask me to pull it in a couple of years. So
I haven't said anything bad. Fuck this movie. It fucking sucks. It doesn't get any worse than this. It's a 0.
So it's a
okay.
gate?
So if you have to
Gate?
watch this, Black Christmas, or Halloween Kills, and you can't say none of them, which do you pick?
All right. I absolutely Halloween Kills.
Evil dies tonight.
Yeah, Evil dies tonight.
That thing's fucking stupid too, but I can at least laugh during that. This would just be torture.
Just so you know, I'm being a fucking angel on this episode. Ben Grimm, Patreon request. Dan reviews Hood classics.
I've already have something brewing, so you may see something like that.
I don't understand. Look, I want you to comment in free speech, please. If you think I'm a fucking piece of shit, put it in the comments.
Well, you
Please
are, but not
do.
because of that.
We don't delete comments. I know there's a lot
The
of
bigoted
sensitive-
hat man does not speak for me.
There's a lot of sensitive YouTubers out there. We're not. So please, if you just think this is a fantastic movie, tell us why in the comments. I really mean it on this.
Well,
one.
that-
There's
you have
got to
some
be
break-
some like tween person that says that.
You have breaking
Kate.
news in your community. I hope this spreads like wildfire.
There you go.
Holy shit! Dan just said something positive about Halloween Kills.
Yeah, I'd rather that over they them. There you go. You put that on the kills.
Big T, I just love the summer camp aspect. Nice.
There's so many other films though to get your fix on summer camps. I mean, I don't know.
All
I
right.
don't know that. Yeah. Well, we'll be talking about it more. So there's they them. Let's see positivity on the next one. Let's see this one. Hopefully will erase all of that. And that is Prey from director Dan Trachtenberg. And in this one, this is an origin story of the Predator in the world of the Comanche Nation 300 years ago. Naru, a skilled female warrior, fights to protect her tribe against one of the first highly evolved predators to land on Earth. There you go. My dog.
Is it Sari? Whatever that dog's name was?
Kruger.
Oh, Pugs, didn't you want to go first?
Go for it, dude.
Oh,
All right.
sorry.
Well,
All good.
Mute the dogs.
Predator is one of my favorite franchises of all time. The original Predator and Predator 2, like they're some of my favorite movies ever. So it's been a rocky road, let's say, recently for the Predator franchise after the last sequel we got. So I was really looking forward to this, and I had heard overwhelmingly positive reviews from everybody that had seen this early and stuff. So came in with really high expectations. I've also watched it twice. I watched it with the Comanche dub first, and then I watched it with the normal English audio. But one thing I'll say before I get into my review of the actual movie is the whole Comanche thing. Like, they should have just filmed this in Comanche with subtitles. It really kind of bothered me that like it was just a dub. And like I had heard mixed things before where it was going to be dubbed in English and it was going to be dubbed in, and that was filmed in Comanche. It ended up being the opposite way around, and it was filmed with them speaking English. And I just think that kind of took out of like the authenticity of wanting to be immersed into this world. So that decision definitely bothered me.
Real quick, am I wrong? But they were speaking Comanche. We were just understanding them because the homeboy that the pirate dude or the one guy with the French people, he said, "Oh, I speak Comanche," and then he started speaking French to the other people. So I was just assuming that that's what we were doing.
But they also like had certain words that they were saying in Comanche with the English audio as well. So I don't know how that would really make sense. But I mean, maybe you're right. I'm not.
That's how I took it.
Sure. But I just wish they would have filmed it, like Apocalypto, basically, where it was just, it fully immerses you into that world. I think that would have been better. But I did really like the main character and her relationship with her dog, and how she's trying to prove herself as a worthy hunter to her tribe or her family and stuff, and she's basically mistreated because she is a woman, and it's kind of oddball that she wants to go out and hunt with all the men, when she really should be back doing other things because, that's what their traditional values were. So I like the way that she's trying to prove herself throughout the whole movie, and just the weird ways her and her dog work together to try to hunt was really, really cool. As far as the Predator goes in this movie, this is by far one of my favorite Predator designs I've ever seen on screen. When you do see him, he is cloaked throughout a lot of the movie. Granted, Predator usually is, but I wasn't crazy about the effect, the way the cloak looked in this movie specifically, just because it just looked a lot, really CG heavy and like not as smooth as I think I've seen in other movies. I'll just talk about the CG just in general. I think the CG is kind of a step down. It is probably on par with what the Predator was, but it also, like, I felt like should have been better, especially with the animals. Like, I thought the bear looked pretty bad, to be honest with you, in a few shots. And just some of the other various animals I thought could have looked maybe a little bit more realistic if there was more time put into their model. But the Predator himself is fucking badass. I love the design, the mask, the way this is different than all the other Predators that we've ever seen, because it takes place, I think it was in 1719, I believe. That was the year.
200 years before
300 years.
300 years.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, so and plus 1719, if you're a fan of the Predator comics, the whole thing with the flintlock pistol takes place on that year in the comics. So it was cool to see how that was all tied together. And, the Predator just himself, design, everything more primitive. The weapons are a little bit different. And I liked how we kind of see in this movie why the weapons changed. That was really well done, I think. There's just a couple of things I'll talk about in spoilers about that. As far as like the pacing of the movie, it definitely takes a bit to really pick up, but once it does, it really doesn't let up. And the kills and fight sequences I thought were really badass. I mean, just watching the Predator fuck up anybody in general is always entertaining to me. But in this movie especially, there was a few scenes that just stood out, and just a couple of kills that I was like, oh, I never thought I'd see that a Predator do that before. And it was really cool. I did have a little bit of an issue with the final battle, but outside of that, I did enjoy this a lot. I don't think it's one of the best Predator movie. Like, a lot of people are saying that this is better than Predator 2. I love Predator 2 to death, so I could never say that. I think I still like Predators more than this movie. So, like, if I was to rank it, it would be, kind of towards the bottom half, probably in like 4th place out of the 5 movies. But I still liked it a lot, and I think my love for it will grow eventually. I just think the overwhelming positive response at the beginning of just hearing the reviews and stuff had my expectations a little too high. And I stand by the whole Comanche thing. Should have been filmed in that, and fuck the whole English language. Make people read subtitles, god damn it, because it would have been way cooler in my opinion.
That was like one of my big things when talking about the language, because I know Dan had to it had to drive his brain insane, because like if you're listening to the dubbed version, it's like the correct language, but it's not the language they're speaking. So watching the dubbed version is like not watching the right version because it's in Comanche, but the way it was filmed was in English. So is that the version you watch? Well, it's like confusing. Yeah. You like if it was filmed in Comanche and you're watching a Comanche version with subtitles, I'm 100% for it. And then people can watch it dubbed. But doing it the opposite, it's like, why would I watch a dubbed version of the native language? I did sample both of them. I switched off. It just didn't make sense to me why you do it.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's like it's the first ever Comanche dub track. I think that's the thing. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But I think telling people that's the definitive way to watch it, I don't agree with.
Yeah, no, because if it was the definitive way, it would have been fucking filmed that way. And I think it would have been bigger if it was just filmed that way. And they're like, fuck you guys, you need to read subtitles.
Yeah. Right.
None of that bothered me, but that's cool. I will say this movie is fucking badass. Someone loves the first Terminator movie because fucking Pocahontas is now Sarah Connor, and I dig it. And like the fact that well, let's go with this. The fight scenes reminded me of Spartacus, Captain America, and Wonder Woman. So as you know, I was like, this is fucking incredible. I love the fucking dog. Sorry, I think his name is. When he was in danger, I was worried. I'm like, am I gonna hate a predator? This is new. But I thought it was pretty fucking genius not to like every time the predator came across her, she's in danger. So that's why she's not really a threat up until she might be because she's really, really fucking smart. I like the interactions between her and the tribe. I will say one of those dudes can't act for shit, and I'm pretty sure you all know who I'm talking about. Fucking homeboy sucked. Yeah, but everything else is fucking rad. I had a fucking blast. I thought the CG was fine. I could have just been like too into it to notice, but I only saw it once. I do want to watch it again. Yeah, it's cool. I have like almost zero complaints.
I agree with the cloaking though. I don't think the cloaking looks bad. I think it's not done the same way as the practical way, the original, digital way. It doesn't work. It doesn't look the same, so it doesn't feel right. It hasn't felt right since they stopped doing it the old way.
I think it looked fine in Predators, to be honest with you.
It did, but it still is off.
Yeah.
It's like wrong sounding Muppets. It works, but it's not just quite right.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't bug me.
Real quick though, before Dan, because Dan had something he wanted to show. I am most interested in Dan's thoughts on this, because for the last how many months has Dan been going on and on about how he heard how bad it is and some of the things they did. That's all I want to know. Dan, show what you got to show, and then you got.
All right. So first, because
we have been hearing that.
You might want to go full screen. This is a little bit bigger, but
I don't want to, but I will.
We're doing short show and tell. What the fuck? Nobody told me.
Apparently,
well, I've got a lot more Predator stuff, but yeah, I am a fan. This is one of the probably the coolest Predator thing I've got. The big scale.
Well, when we do our franchise show, we'll all do that.
Yeah. Well, I've got other Predator stuff, but yeah,
Dan's got to swing his collector dick in front of us.
Just one thing, but yeah, no, that is awesome. So, all right, so I want to say, in terms of the landscapes, the cinematography, very beautiful looking film. I thought that was cool. I kind of like the idea of, at this point, I don't really need more backstory on the Predator. I don't need to see more about what the Predator's about. I know what I need to know about the Predators, and I'm good with that. So I like the basic idea of just different time periods and seeing the Predator go up against, I don't know, barbarians. I don't know how they would work it, but maybe a Predator World War II gladiator.
Yes, I want that.
There is a short film, fan film called Predator: Dark Ages, where they go up against knights.
There you go. Yeah, that's all. There's a ton of different really awesome ideas you could do with it.
A lot of stuff in the comics like that too.
Yeah. So I did appreciate that. Now, having said that, no, I don't understand why people love it as much as they do. Predator 1. I've heard people put it over Predator 1.
No way.
They're out there. They're out there. 2's got, you know what? I know I have nostalgia glasses for the second film. There are plenty of issues with 2, but 2 is way more fun. One thing that
you don't have issues, but I've said that from the beginning. But we will do a franchise show eventually, so we will hammer that out.
One thing that this doesn't have to me is interesting characters. This lead, like, I get it, guys. She's pretty, but the character is not interesting at all. She's stone-faced.
But you don't like women's stories, though, Dan. How does that work? I mean,
it's not interesting. There's no character building or anything. It's just like, oh, you're a girl, you can't hunt. That's the whole movie. That's her arc.
So you do understand it.
When we look at some of the other Predator films, we have great characters: Jesse Ventura, Bill Duke, even the recent films, which I know mixed opinions on those. I would gladly take one with Thomas Jane and Key. I think that would be cool. Those guys were interesting. They were funny. They actually stole that movie, in my opinion. She was just resting bitch face the entire time. I don't think she was that good. She might be good in other things, and I'm going to get into a little bit more. So the Predator can fucking kill a bear, lift a bear over his head, and then he's getting kung fu to death by this 90-pound woman. Well, hey, look, you can laugh at that. I think it's fucking-
Hold on.
When did she kung fu him? That's
Yeah,
what I
she
want to know.
does
at the end, the parkour moves and like flipping
She's
around.
been
Jumps
a
on
hunter
his
this
back
whole
with a
fucking
freaking
time.
hatchet and hatchets
Definitely.
him.
That
Like,
whole finale.
The whole
was
no, dude. Go back and watch the fucking thing, because I specifically was gonna fucking bitch about this, and I made sure it was all just outsmarting him and being quicker. That was it. It had no kung fu bullshit like you're talking about right now.
I
She used tools and weapons and shit against him. It wasn't fucking overpowering him or any of that bullshit.
There's
No
a
diff-
point
hold
where
on.
he even hits her, and I'm like,
Abs-
so you can gut a fucking grizzly and apex
Dan,
predator?
I'm just going to
And-
stop because your argument means nothing. Because this
Hold on.
argument works against Arnold Schwarzenegger. It works against Danny Glover.
a
Yeah.
little
He
more
shouldn't have been-
believable than her.
Sarah
but
Connor
no.
is the same fucking thing.
Also,
It's-
I
no.
think a more interesting character. I think Sarah Connor was a
But
Ripley.
she's
Nobody would have any issues with Ripley. This is just resting bitch face the whole time. She's not interesting.
just reserved.
At
I
all.
wouldn't say not interesting. Maybe you didn't find it interesting, but okay, you're entitled.
Dan's like, we already took their fucking land. We're done.
Not interested. I don't know. I had a huge issue. Again, this one, it has its high points. There are some good kills. I get that. I'm sure that's why people are loving it. The tree scene, not to give it away, it's not an important character. I thought that was cool. There's stuff to like. There's certain portions of this where I'm like, okay, this is okay. The CG, it's a CGI heavy movie, and it looks like fucking shit. The CGI deer, the CGI bear, which I've seen better in recent movies. I'm shocked that people are liking it as much as they seem to be for that, because people are usually so quick to jump on CG. I thought the CG was terrible. And again, I don't know. I don't get it. Wooden lead. It's. I can understand thinking it's okay. I don't understand people loving it like they do. People will forget about this girl. They're not even going to remember the character's name.
Keep saying that.
And I'm usually right. You can go back to
100%.
4 or 5 years ago, and people
It's
aren't
100%
talking
right.
about it. But yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people like this. more than they know,
Nostradamus.
but
Ooh, I like that one.
but I don't know. If you like this better than the first two, hey, great. I don't think
Okay.
it's as good as the
That's
last
fucking crazy.
two.
I
I
will
don't
see.
think it's as good as the last.
I
two.
have-
Fucking crazy.
It's better than the Predator for
I have
sure.
I had more
Predator.
fun.
I have a lot of fun with that. I'm not gonna.
I like the
because
Predator. I don't like the what's the one with all with they go to the island
Predators?
Predators?
I love
I
that
fucking
movie,
hate that
man.
movie.
I like that
I
one
can't.
too,
It so
man.
made me
Here's
so
my
mad.
thing.
I love it.
Everything after the first one, I like, but they're nowhere near the original. Even the shitty Alien vs Predators I can deal with. But like the actual Predator films, I could say something good about every one of them. Even two, which I don't think is. I'm going to go in with new eyes and see how I feel this time. But I've never been huge on two either. So honestly, after one, I couldn't even give you like this is above two, this is above this. It's just another Predator. I'm not like. It's not like the Terminator sequels, where at this point I'm like, God, they're fucking it up more. I'm just like, this is cool.
It's
Yeah.
better. Yeah, I can understand they haven't shit the bed like the Terminator.
Yeah,
films
so-
have, but
And
Fuck
that's
Dark
the thing. And that's the thing with this one. It's like it's since it's set ahead, it doesn't fuck with anything. I'm fine. It's like Jason X.
It
It's
does
like
a little bit because now when you know how
the gun.
yeah.
Hey, spoilers, fuckers.
Well, we didn't say too
I
much.
say where, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but I purposely didn't say shit before because of that.
All right.
We're
Well,
definitely
but-
in sequels.
Yeah.
and Wander This World 97. Welcome, by the way. I don't know if I've seen you in here before.
What up?
And
The Mortal Kombat style action scenes. I agree.
Read the whole thing, Dan.
My only issue with their fighting style was it seemed like out of Mortal Kombat with the axe on a rope. Others in her tribe fought more grounded. Yeah, I agree. For me,
She was being
the
innovative.
action at the
Yeah.
end.
We saw her come up with the idea.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's an
Goosebumps.
actual thing that they used to hunt, and that eventually became a thing. I would have to do some research into that, but I wouldn't be surprised. I do know my friend who's a part of that community, native community. He said that there was a lot of like actual like native people working on like the lore and stuff of this thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually a thing or not. I'll have to actually ask him. But why don't we rate this? Go into spoilers. Dan can get into more rants about how women can't beat predators, and yeah.
Just Terminators. That
Just
Predators just made it unbelievable.
Yeah. and women fucking can beat xenomorphs. So I mean,
Right? Just not Predators.
He also
Dan.
didn't see her as a threat. So we'll get into spoilers.
Yeah, okay.
My rating is a 4 out of 5.
I was tossed up between the 3.5 and a 4. For now, I'm a 3.5, but I think there is some room to grow. But I stand by where I say it's like 4th place right now.
I'm giving it a 3. I'm penalizing it for that stupid not being able to make their mind and fucking this whole Comanche version up. It's just
I agree.
gotta use a different word, stupid.
Yeah.
1.5. I didn't like
Wow.
it, but
It's on brand.
it's pretty to look at it in parts, I guess. And there's a couple cool kills, but that's all.
All right. So on that note, what do we have coming up next if they want to dip out now?
All right, guys. So after this, we will also be live for a Monsters watch along. So come hang out with us. We really have appreciated everybody that's been loving these watch alongs we've been doing on Sundays. So yeah, come hang with us. It's been a while on Mini Monsters, and yeah, so right after we're going to talk spoilers though, so let's get right into it. So you
Come
have
on,
been warned.
do it.
If you haven't seen
So how about this predator being the ugliest of all the motherfuckers? Because goddamn, dude, that motherfucker was hideous as fuck. I see a lot of people bitching about actually the design and stuff, but I liked it a lot. It reminded me a little bit of fuck, I can't think of his name now. The Predator and Predators with the Mr. Black. He's the one with the little jaw piece on, and he's the big super predator in the Predators movie that like is the leader of them.
Wonder This World 97. Okay, spoilers. How could she piece together the flower and made the injury guy invisible to the predator? That was established in the beginning.
She had it on her.
Yeah, also, but when they went hunting for the other Indian dude, the guy wanted to warm him up, right? With the fire. She's like, do you want him alive or comfortable? So
Yeah.
like it was spoon fed to us.
Mm-hmm. The Berserker Predator, Sean. Sorry, I totally fucking forgot. But yeah, the design when he was unmasked reminded me a lot of that. But I also like just the little differences, the way the eyes were a little bit more sunken in, and the whole design of the Predator, man. Like the way the mask is with the mandibles and stuff. I loved how she ripped off one of his mandibles. I think they should have did it when his mask was on because it would have made sense why they cover it now. But I kind of get what they were doing with that, and also the same thing why he doesn't use that weapon anymore, which because the Predator doesn't have his plasma caster like he does in all the other movies. They upgraded to the plasma caster because this Predator's own weapon ended up killing himself. So it makes those little things like I thought really made sense.
Wander This World 97. Yeah, but how did she know it was a temperature thing like he saw with heat? They did establish that too. I think it was around the time where she fell in the river.
Yeah. So the skull face mask was badass. Yeah, and also
was it a xenomorph?
I think
no, it wasn't a xenomorph.
No, damn.
No. It would have been cool, but yeah, Xeno's on the depending on what timeline you're going with. they may or may
It
not.
could look kind of like a
thing.
queen head with the
Yeah,
back.
no, I just took it as it was like some random alien that this predator had hunted. I want to know a little bit more about this predator though, because if it is the first predator that has come to Earth, that means that the Lost Tribe from Predator 2 are going to be after this motherfucker and going to find his dead body. And like, if you watch the post credit or the credit scene, like they kind of insinuate that
Oh, the
there's a shit.
hieroglyphics.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of predators on their fucking way now. So that's gonna. I would love to see a sequel to this, to where they bring in the story arc with the Elder Predator and the flintlock pistol, because the flintlock pistol that he gives Danny Glover at the end of Predator 2 is in this movie. She has it. So I want to figure out how he got a hold of it. And if I watch the Lost Tribe of the fucking Predators come in and just massacre this whole Comanche tribe, that would be a fucking killer movie. Just this whole war breaking out, and maybe you bring in more of the soldiers, because now all these men are missing from I think they were French soldiers, and you could bring that in, and I think that would just be a really, really badass way to tie all that shit together. Because in the comics, the Elder Predator's origin story is called 1719, and it explains how he got the flintlock pistol and stuff. So they could kind of take some inspiration from those comics and make it its own thing, to where it's actually canon to the movies now. So I really hope we do get more. If not anything, there's so many other stories you could do. Like there, in the AVP comics, there was like a samurai predator in Japan, and like there you could do predators just fighting ancient warriors 1,000 fucking times over, and I think it would work well, at least most of the time, to be an entertaining movie.
Dan, I will agree with you on that. The dog was better than the lead actress, but the dog is still.
Doesn't that say something?
No, the dog's amazing.
Sean said that his favorite predator is the Elder Predator from Predator 2. That is my favorite predator out of the whole franchise as well. Just always loved the design, and like I said, those comics, man, they make him such a badass. I like that the story of this predator is a little bit different too. Like, it may not have all the same, like, I think the director was talking about how they called this the feral predator, and this may not be. This is a predator that was maybe at the Yautja world, but not a part of the tribe, and he's just kind of doing his own thing and is outcast. So it makes sense that, like, also the Lost Tribe would be going after him, trying to figure out, where the fuck is he going? He's dead now, so we got to go pick him up so these humans don't get our technology.
My favorite scene throughout the whole thing, though, was when the Predator took out all the Frenchmen, and it looked like Wonder Woman and fucking Spartacus.
Fucking shield. That shield was so
hard as
bad.
fuck.
That was my favorite weapon.
That was the highlight of the entire movie for sure, for me.
The thing I loved about it too was the way he was leaping from the trees and stuff. Reminded me of playing the video game. If you ever played Predator Hunting Grounds on PS4, that's kind of how the Predator moves from when he's hopping around, and it looked exactly like that game. So I thought that was really badass. But yeah, he fucking fucked those French people up, and I just love the little different weapons, like that weird staff thing he had, and that
he broke into two.
Yeah, that was just badass. I do wish we would have saw maybe a little bit more of the gore, though, because like, granted, the gore was there and we got it, but they did it more stylistically than just showing you all this disgustingness going on.
I was actually a little rough with the wolf in the beginning. It's like, oh man, here we go.
That was honestly probably the best looking animal, because I thought that bear, when it was chasing the dog, ooh, it looked ugly as fuck.
I was just too worried for the dog. I probably wasn't paying attention. The bear looked fine. Yeah. I thought the dog was in danger.
I was surprised that we actually got a real dog.
Yeah,
honestly, figured
it was, and you know what it kind of reminded me of? Remember that way different movie, but
In the Valley of Violence?
No, Love, Death, and Monsters, or Love
yeah,
Love and Monsters. Love and Monsters.
Love
yeah.
Monsters.
Yeah, it reminded me of the dog in that. And I mean, anytime you bring a dog into a story, but God, I hope fucking the elder predator just has that dog's fucking head and spinal cord and chucks it at this chick in the next movie. Because that, dude, that would be so hard if they just see, dude, they see the fucking ships coming out, and then next thing you know, you hear footsteps, you see the elder with his fucking piercings and shit, and he just chucks the dog's head at her and is like, we're coming for our technology, bitch.
No. Although I would
dude.
fucking flip my shit. Yeah. I got really nothing else because that fucking fight scene was in. Oh yeah, that's right.
Should I just mute Dan now?
No.
Are we still on Prey? I
No.
have nothing to say about Prey, but yeah, I mean, I don't. And that Arnold comparison, I'll be honest, like I don't get it. What happens when Arnold fights that girl? Like there is a little bit of a believability difference in terms of versus the Predator. Like
he is from an indigenous culture, dude. They live a rough life. They are meant to fight like
and Arnold's fighting tactics against the Predator, he isn't using his muscles or fucking his combat experience. He's setting up traps. That's how he gets the Predator. Right. He's setting up traps. He's covering himself in mud.
But a woman isn't as smart as a man, so she couldn't come up with it.
Todd, this is coming from somebody like Rey Mysterio. You're always complaining about how he's not believable.
Okay, you know the difference is
not believable.
You know the difference. I'll tell you the difference right now because I know he's a little bitch, and I know when my grandma was 90, she could still take on a believable fight with the Predator, and she's an old native woman, so I know how fucking strong they are.
Dude, one chancla, boom! I'm never coming back to this planet again.
They them, Dan. You said.
Well, hold on. They had a line in they them about being the Predator and the prey, so that's how we'll lead. There we go.
There we go. Right. Good segue.
All right.
I have nothing on this. Dan,
wait, Prey or let's see. What are we doing?
They them.
Hurry up, Dan. We got like 4 minutes, if that.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I'm going to try and make it quick. But, all right, so the opening kill, that, and obviously revealing who our killer was. So they bought that was the same person? They didn't check this person's
the chubby redheaded lady.
Like it's like you've got like Anna Schlumsky and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Like the warning bells are going off. I thought that was really dumb. I mean, again, this movie didn't entertain me at all. I could overlook some stupid slasher things for sure, but I thought that was just. I don't know. I don't get it, man. I don't fucking get it.
Ben Grimm, this is Todd's grandma's origin story.
There you go. Grandma Todd would be.
Grandma.
Here's Red. I want to see that. You just did.
Dude, remember in Predator 2 when he's running through the fucking hotel or he's running through the apartment buildings and he goes through that grandma's house?
Was this better than Hollow Man? Hell no.
Oh, I like Hollow Man.
Hollow Man's a masterpiece.
Oh, another thing, another little dumb thing that again I could overlook if the movie were fun, but what the character that they were using is like bait to seduce the guy. Why did that person have to fuck? Like, couldn't they just like have popped out and just gone like, "Hey, we got you"? Like, I thought that was kind of dumb too.
They had to be sure, Dan.
Look, that's one of the benefits of being bait.
He had to bust. God damn it! We needed to know for sure.
They got it from South Park. Freeze.
And then the crime photos just sitting in the drawer. Oh, this movie is fucking.
What else is he gonna beat it to? Come on.
All right.
Does anyone else have anything?
There's a lot of other little stuff, but that's good enough. We got another show, but. Guys, please, like I said, if you like, I know I went harsh, so if you like them, tell us why, or if you fucking hated them, that's
and enjoy this episode while you can.
This episode's fine, but all right, guys, we're gonna jump over to the Monsters live stream. It'll be live in less than 5 minutes. So, Patreon.com/FleshWoundFeatures. That all starts at just $1. And we've been having a lot of after shows, a lot of cool extra material for you guys. So again, patreon.com/FleshWoundFeatures. Thank you. We'll see you over for our Monsters watch along. Good night, guys.
Oh shit. Good evening. I'm in the wrong button.
Stay sick, motherfuckers.
I'll see you in Disneyland.